So there's a major problem in the hearing aid industry, and I'm going to try and help to solve it. Hey guys, welcome back to the Dr. Cliff AUD vlog. This is vlog number 225, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that I've been working on for the past several months at this point. But before I do, if you could do me a huge favor, click the like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well. It is greatly appreciated. Now let's get on to the topic at hand, which is there's a pretty big problem that we have inside of the hearing aid industry. And it really doesn't have anything to do with the hearing aids themselves. It has to do with the hearing care profession of the individuals who are actually fitting and programming hearing aids and ultimately selling hearing aids to you guys. And so the problem is that a lot of the hearing aid dispensing world, and I'm not talking just, hearing instrument specialists, I'm talking audiologists too, is that a lot of it is driven by sales. A lot of these clinics that are out there, whether they're owned by the hearing aid manufacturers, whether they're privately owned, whether they're inside of ENT clinics, whether it's a part of a big box store, sales is what drives everything. And the problem is that once a system is built around the idea that they need to sell more hearing aids, typically what you start seeing is that the time spent with patients and the quality of care provided to patients starts to drop in order to make sure that they're generating as much revenue as possible through additional hearing aid sales. Clearly, this is a bad thing for individuals with hearing loss. And so when I started my clinic, Applied Hearing Solutions, back in 2017, I took the approach of, you know what? I don't care how many hearing aids I sell, but every hearing aid that I sell, I'm going to bring it with an exceptionally high quality of care for the patient so they can actually experience the full amount of benefit out of whatever hearing aids that we fit them with, or out of whatever hearing aids they already have that we are choosing to reprogram for them. And so this problem has been growing for years. And the metrics that we start looking at inside of the hearing aid industry is how many devices are sold, what's your conversion rate, what's your average selling price, like all of this stuff that has to do with just maximizing revenue inside of a clinic and maximizing units sold and all of that. And it's really become ubiquitous. I mean, like almost every single clinic, even my clinic, uses these metrics to determine profitability, to determine how effective we are in encouraging individuals to treat their hearing loss. But here's the thing. There's a difference between having your clinic be driven by these metrics to maximize revenue and having these metrics to look at to determine if you are being effective from a treatment standpoint. And are you taking care of people effectively? And so the way that I want to help try and solve this problem is not a whole lot different than when I started the Hearing Up Network back in 2019. Essentially, the Hearing Up Network is a network of hearing care professionals that have been vetted to provide best practice audiologic care to ensure that their patients achieve the highest level of hearing performance possible out of their hearing aids. And it was, popular right off the bat because there's a lot of clinics out there that they wanted their metrics to be the quality of care provided, not the amount of hearing aids sold. Now, the problem that we're running into right now is that I think a lot of hearing care professionals are starting to realize, with all the insurance crap that's happening, with insurance companies reducing reimbursement rates, with certain hearing aids not even be able to be dispensed through certain insurance plans, the hearing care professionals are starting to realize, hold on, maybe we should focus less on sales and focus more on providing high quality care so our patients are actually willing to pay out of pocket for the services that we provide them, but they're actually worth it because you're providing a higher quality of care than what you can get through your insurance or through a discount hearing aid clinic. But the problem at hand here is that while a lot of these clinics are starting to realize that they need to start focusing on quality rather than quantity, they don't really know how to do it. And so, when I started the Hearing Up Network, it was easy because a lot of clinics that are already providing a high quality of care, they applied for the network, they got in. They're doing the same thing that they've been doing for the past 10, 20 years at this point of providing high quality of care. And, it was not a problem. But the problem we ended up running into is similar to what I explained a couple weeks ago, and I don't know how many times I've said problem in this video, but hang in there with me. The problem that I explained a couple weeks ago in a video is that a lot of these hearing care professionals want to provide a higher quality of care, they just don't know how to. And so what I was thinking is, you know what, in order to get more eligible candidates to apply to the Hearing Up Network, so you guys have more people to pick from that you know are providing a high quality of care, so you can limit the amount of research you have to do on each individual clinic to see if they're actually good or not. Maybe if I actually provided a training program for hearing care professionals on how to provide best practice audiologic care in a way that their patients perceive the benefit of doing so, maybe I could get more people eligible to join the Hearing Up Network. And that's exactly what we did. So I worked with my friend and colleague, Dr. Brad Stewart. He's a really good consultant inside of the hearing care industry. And we've been working together. He's done coaching programs himself. He's done consulting himself. Neither of us have done on a professional basis, other than just providing, advice to other hearing care professionals based on my experience. But I've been able to work with him to develop a business of best practice training course for audiologists and hearing instrument specialists and even students. And the whole purpose of this is for me to actually share, here's the process that I go through in my clinic. Here is how you take these best practices and implement them exactly how I do it. Here is how you do them in a way that patients perceive them as being valuable and helping them hear better. And how you can actually be a profitable clinic when doing things this way. Not everything has to be driven by massive sales numbers. It can be driven by quality of care, and in return, you actually make money for providing a higher quality versus the competition that's out there that's only focused on sell, right? And so it's taken me a lot of time, and you guys may have noticed that I've been reducing the amount of videos I've been putting out here lately because I'm spending so much time developing this framework of this training program so I can just give away all of my best secrets to other hearing care professionals out there. I am a firm believer that a rising tide raises all ships. So even if I'm giving away my processes and procedures and everything that I do and exactly how I do it and what I say to patients when I'm doing it, I feel that even though that might increase competition for me in my clinic because other people would be confident of going to these other providers or patients would be confident of going to these other providers, that it would ultimately be a net positive for individuals with hearing loss, meaning that not only will individuals with hearing loss be more willing to go see these other providers, they'd be more willing to come see me because the word out on the street is that the hearing care profession is stepping up their game and providing a higher quality of care, which makes consumers or individuals with hearing loss trust all of us more. Because that's really what we're missing right now. We're missing trust. Anytime that you talk to someone, who isn't experiencing a good outcome with their hearing aids, they all say the same thing. Oh, the place that I went to seemed like they were more interested in just selling me the next new hearing aid rather than actually treating my hearing loss. And that's something that when I retire from this profession, I want that narrative to be different. I want people with hearing loss to know that hearing care professionals have their back and that we have their best interest in mind, not our own sales numbers inside of our clinics. It absolutely drives me crazy. It's not just in the United States. This is worldwide. Everything is driven heavily by sales, and I don't like it. I don't like when I go places and you can tell that all they're trying to do is upsell me on things. I don't personally like that. What I like is when I go somewhere and I feel like they're giving me a recommendation, even if it's for me to spend more money, they're giving me a recommendation for a specific reason because it is actually in my benefit to do what they're recommending. For instance, if you have a cavity in your tooth and it would be better to get a crown on that tooth instead of just drilling it out and putting in a filling that needs to be replaced in another 2 years and could potentially lead to a root canal, I would rather get the crown, spend more money on the crown right now than essentially wait and have a bigger problem down the road. But if a place is just recommending a crown because they make more money on a crown, you can tell the difference, right? And it has everything to do with how that information is communicated to you as one of their patients. And so I want to do the same thing for hearing care professionals. I want them to be able to make a strong recommendation on the best treatment option, not just the cheapest treatment option or the one that's best margins for them as a clinic. I want them to be able to recommend the best treatment option and being confident in doing so, and have the patient truly understand that that recommendation is coming from a place of being their professional, not just being a salesperson. So this training is going to end up going on for 3 entire months. Like I said, it's for hearing care professionals, and I'm also going to allow students to join as well and register for it. It has limited capacity, but here's the thing. It's not really for consumers to participate in. This is really a way to get your hearing care professionals to step up their game and provide care at a higher level. And so hopefully here in the next couple of months, so by the end of, let's see, we're gonna start at June, July, August. By the end of August, what I'm hoping is that we have a couple hundred more hearing care professionals out there who can practice at a really, really high level and truly share the gift that they all have. Because here's the thing, a lot of these hearing care professionals already know what to do and how to do it. They just need to understand how to better communicate that with their patients so their patients understand the value that they possess in terms of being their hearing care professional. So hopefully here in another couple of months, everyone who's out there in the entire world, even if you don't come see me inside of my clinic, is going to have a higher level of care from their own hearing care professional, no matter where they live. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because, again, I've been a little bit lackadaisical on the amount of content I've been creating for you guys, but that's because I've been creating some content for other hearing care professionals so we can actually have all these ships rise at the same time, and so you guys can hear your absolute best. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this vlog, make sure that you hit that like button, and as always, I'll see you next week.